Back, and thank you so much for staying with us. That interview coming up shortly. But first, did you know that Kenya is the only country in the world where the few remaining mountain bongos can be found?
Mountain Bongo is a rare type of antelope classified as highly endangered. Only 100 forest mountain bongo exists world over, and Kenya plays home to all of them.
KBC's Purity Museo took a break from the office to trail this endangered animal. Here is her report.
Early morning, we arrive at the Mount Kenya Wildlife Conservancy in Nanyuki, Laikipia County, in search of one of the highly endangered subspecies of antelope, the Mountain Bongo.
The Mountain Bongo is critically endangered, and it's only found in Kenya, with less than 100 individuals existing in their natural habitat.
This visually striking animal with deep found colored coat bisected with white vertical stripes is a Mountain Bongo. Her name is Elizabeth. At 24 years of age, she is the oldest mountain bongo in Kenya and the world. The chestnut animal is only found in Kenya's lowland forest, restricted to the Mau Forest, the Aberdares and the Mount Kenya Forest.
She's now here as an able ambassador of all mountain bongos that we have in our breeding program and of all mountain bongos that are in the wild in Kenya.
Just about 100 critically endangered mountain bongos remain in Kenya, the last country where the animals exist in the wild.
Assuming we destroy all the forests, we'll be losing this species that is only found in Kenya.
The mountain bongo began its decline in the 1890s when ranchers reportedly brought rinderpest-infected cattle to the region. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, mountain bongos in the early 90s suffered multiple epidemics of rinderpest, a deadly disease that dramatically reduced their population. And due to hunting and the destruction of their natural habitats, the existence of the remaining mountain bongos has been threatened. However, the Mount Kenya Wildlife Conservancy is working hard to ensure this type of antelope is protected and preserved through a breeding program.
We started with feeding 100%, where everything that they need to eat is brought to them.
The mountain bongos are naturally active during the night and early in the morning. That's when conservationists here bring them food. Food, mainly pellets, is put in their feeding troughs, where they gather to feed every morning and evening.
For us, we want to breed the animals, get them used to the wild environment, and they're able to find the food for themselves. Then we release these animals to the National Bongo Task Force. They will look for a suitable site and release these animals.
Currently, there are 52 bongos in the paddocks. The population will be used to reinforce the one out in the wild.
The babies that are born, they now join the rewilding program. They join the first paddock of the sanctuary, transit the second paddock of the sanctuary until the end where they are able to be deemed fit for release in the wild.
The breeding program began with 18 mountain bongos imported from the US.
We allow the bongos first of all to settle because they are coming from a different time zone, a different climate, to get used to Kenya. And after that now, after adaptation, the bongos start breeding. So the next phase is to now start bringing them in environment that will prime them for the wild conditions.
From the paddocks, these visually striking animals will be brought to this sanctuary. Here, the amount of food given to them is significantly reduced.
The sanctuary is divided into 3 compartments, and each compartment serves its purpose. because the ideal scenario is that at the end of the day, we'll have a bongo which can go to the wild, find food on its own, and be able now to reinforce the wild population.
Once they are brought here into this sanctuary, it will be upon the 52 Mount Kenya bongos to prove if they are able to get food on their own, and if not, they will be returned into the conservancy. If they do, then they will be free to be released into the wild. The breeding program is being used as a flagship species for the protection of the Mount Kenya forest. Conservationists here are working with community members and schools to plant more trees, not only for the benefit of the bongos, but for purposes of forest conservation as well.
Through the trainings, we are sure that the students from here will continue taking care of the environment even when they go back home.
It seems everything in nature that has beauty has also a price. To preserve these fairly large in size mountain bongos, it calls for concerted efforts in promoting forest conservation. Purity Museo, Channel 1 News, at the Mount Kenya Wildlife Conservancy in Nanyuki, Laikipia County.